Today, I want to talk about the new arms race that's developing between East and West. Unlike the Cold War, however, this arms race is different. This is a biological arms race. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Osama and I'm a pharmacist based in England. Thanks for tuning in. I think you're going to like this one. I think it's a subject that is really interesting, so sit back, relax, grab some popcorn and enjoy. Since the times of the Roman Empire, technology has been used to gain an advantage over enemies. Whichever army could bring the best technology to the battlefield had an immediate advantage over their adversaries. With each new development, lands were conquered as enemies could not counter the latest military advances. Fast forward 2,000 years and that trend continues. The USA had the first atomic bomb and this gave them the edge over all other nations. Nations battle it out to be the first to achieve cutting-edge technology. This trend shows absolutely no sign of slowing down whatsoever. One of the world's most exciting scientific frontiers is gene editing. With the advent of techniques such as CRISPR, genes can be precisely and accurately edited. This promises a new era for humans in that natural biological limitations can be overcome. CRISPR technology has already been used to cure certain forms of blindness, and this heralds huge promise for the future. As someone who does suffer from a genetic form of blindness, I only know too well the devastating impact that this can have, but also the exciting treatments that potentially lie ahead. I think it's inevitable that such technology will eventually find its way into the military field. I think it would be really naive to assume that biology and genetics will not play a role in modern warfare at some point in time. In fact, one of the main themes in the wildly successful Metal Gear Solid franchise of computer games was the idea of cloned soldiers. The project was dubbed Les Enfants Terribles, and this was as far back as 20 years ago, which is phenomenal in itself. Fast forward to the modern day and reports first appeared in 2019 about China experimenting with gene editing with the means to create super soldiers. This article from Defense One stresses the need to keep monitoring Chinese advances in this field in order to prevent being caught out by surprise. The fact that this is even being discussed suggests that they believe the threat to be real and present. On December 3rd, 2020, the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, in a Wall Street Journal article mentions Chinese ambitions to develop soldiers with biologically enhanced capabilities. Now, this could just be fear-mongering and painting China as the bad guy, but I suspect there could be an element of truth in the allegations. In another stunning admission, the BBC reported in December 2020 that France was beginning research into what it calls enhanced soldiers. The report stresses that other nations are exploring such possibilities, and as a consequence, France simply has no options other than to keep up with this new arms race. The article also discusses the use of brain implants to augment the ability of soldiers on the battlefield. The piece discusses projects such as Elon Musk's Neuralink, which has already demonstrated that biological entities and machines can be successfully merged. Another article from the Gatestone Institute in February 2021 states a similar theme. This time, they are talking about China creating a master race. Now, if you ignore the article's dramatic headline and dive deeper, you realize that the rumors of Chinese experimental soldiers just keeps cropping up. The key phrase that keeps repeating is biological dominance. From this, one can infer that biology is becoming a top priority for the Chinese military. The next article I want to quote is from Russia Today and is dated April 2021. This one has a slightly different emphasis in that it discusses the merging of man and machine to create a superior fighting soldier. At an event hosted by the Air Force Research Laboratory, Dr. Joel Moser, chief scientist for the Space Force, said superhuman technologies are on the horizon, insisting the US cannot afford to lag in this area. Again, the article once more discusses the merging of technology and the human brain to create some sort of symbiotic platform for the processing of data. So lastly but not least is an article from the CAPEX website dated April 2021. This time it looks into the United Kingdom efforts to pursue genetically enhanced personnel for the armed forces. The article discusses the recent creation of ARIA, which is the Advanced Research and Intervention Agency, created at a cost of £800 million. Now, this is modelled on DARPA, which is the US Defence Advanced Research Projects Agency, and the organisation will focus partly on genomic research, like what these other countries are doing. Now, the ARIA policy statement is a lot of pages long, and it doesn't really sort of say things directly, but it does actually say that biology will play an important role in the defence sector in the future. So I do find this all quite interesting, in that the UK government is following the lead of these other big nation states like the United States, like China, like France, in that they are going to put resources into the biological aspect of warfare. So all in all, it is becoming clear that there is indeed a new arms race currently underway. All these news stories and articles point to the US, China, Russia, and the UK and France turning their attention to the biological world in order to further their lead over other nations. Now, this is a different type of race, however. This is an arms race that is a competition to see which country can fuse man, genetics, and technology to produce the next generation of super soldier, one that has the potential to dominate the battlefield for years to come. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you soon.